There are people in this world, people like you, who don't crumble in silence. You transform in it. You don't always announce your pain or your victories or the battles you're fighting inside. You don't always explain why you disappeared for a few days, why you keep your circle small, why sometimes you choose the long road home just to be alone with your own thoughts. And maybe people think you're distant or cold or strange, but they don't realize this. You're not withdrawing from the world. You're returning to yourself. There's a strength inside you that doesn't roar. It whispers. It grows in quiet rooms and late-night thoughts and moments where most people would feel empty, but you feel something rising, something calm, something steady, something powerful. You become stronger in solitude, and that is not an accident. That is psychology. That is wiring. That is survival. That is truth. We live in a world that worships noise, a world that treats constant socializing as proof of happiness, a world that thinks if you're alone, something must be wrong with you, a world that celebrates loudness because loudness is easier to understand, quiet strength, inner growth, emotional self-sufficiency. Those scare people because most people run from themselves. Most people drown their thoughts in distractions. Most people fear silence because, in silence, the truth speaks. But you walk toward that silence. Not because you're antisocial, not because you're cold, not because you don't like people, but because solitude is where your spirit breathes. You're not avoiding life, you're digesting it. You're not hiding, you're healing. You're not lonely, you're recalibrating. People who grow in solitude have a skill many never develop. You can sit with your own emotions without collapsing. Most people panic when sadness hits. They escape when stress rises. They numb their emotions instead of understanding them. But you face them. Maybe not perfectly, maybe not but bravely. This is called high intrapersonal intelligence, the ability to observe your emotions without drowning in them, and solitude strengthens it. When people spend time alone, their thoughts get louder, but in your case, they get clearer. You analyze, you reflect, you understand the why behind your feelings. You don't just feel emotions, you listen to them. That's emotional maturity, and it's rare. Psychologists also talk about something called post-traumatic growth. When people don't just survive hardship, they rise from it. These people often develop a need for solitude because quiet spaces feel safer, more honest, more real. If you've ever noticed that silence feels like a refuge instead of a prison, if you've ever felt your spirit rebuild itself when you step away, that's not weakness, that's resilience. That's your nervous system healing. That's your mind choosing you. Many people who grow stronger alone aren't weak or too sensitive. They're deeply attuned. They notice tones in people's voices, the shift in someone's energy, the emotional temperature of a room, the truth people try to hide behind their words. This sensitivity becomes overwhelming in crowds, but in solitude, it becomes intuition, clarity, insight. Your mind sharpens in silence, the way a blade sharpens on a whetstone. There are surface-level thinkers, and then there are people like you. Your mind doesn't stop at the first layer. It goes deeper. Why did I react that way? What do I truly want? What am I becoming? What does this moment teach me? Depth is uncomfortable for most people. But for you, depth is home. Let me tell you something I've never said out loud. For a long time, I thought something was wrong with me because I couldn't thrive in groups the way others did. I felt guilty for needing time alone, ashamed even. People would ask, "Why are you always by yourself? Are you okay? Are you upset?" But the truth was, that was when I felt most alive. late at night. Lights low, everyone asleep, and I'm just sitting with my thoughts. That was where I grew, where I healed, where I found pieces of myself I didn't even know were missing. But I didn't understand it then. I thought solitude was a flaw, a sign of emotional weakness, a symptom of not being normal or social enough, until I learned the psychology of people like us, people who become stronger in solitude. And I realized there was never anything wrong with me, and there is nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You're not strange. You're not detached. You're deep. You're intuitive. You're healing in ways most people don't know how to, and that is strength. I want you to hear this in your chest, not just your mind. Your solitude is not a weakness. It is your evolution. Think of all the things solitude taught you: how to calm your own storms, how to listen to your intuition, how to rebuild your spirit, how to trust yourself, how to stand alone without falling. Not everyone can do that. Most people can't even be in silence with their own thoughts for 5 minutes. But you can. You have. You still do. And that makes you different. Not lesser. Not broken. Different. In a powerful way. You feel deeply. You notice everything. You heal inwardly. You grow quietly. You don't need applause to feel worthy. You don't need validation to feel real. You don't need noise to feel alive. Your strength is quiet but unshakable. Your power is soft but undeniable. Your resilience is silent but fierce. Here's what solitude has really given you: a stronger identity, because when you're alone, you are not influenced by expectations, pressures, opinions, noise. You learn who you are in your rawest form. Emotional immunity. Solitude doesn't make you cold, it makes you stable. Independence, not the "I don't need anyone" kind, but the healthy kind. I choose people because I care, not because I'm empty. Unshakable self-trust. When you spend time alone, you learn to hear your inner voice. A calm spirit. Your mind becomes peaceful in solitude. Imagine this for a moment. You're standing at the edge of a still lake at dawn. The world is quiet. The air is cool. The water looks like a mirror. And for the first time in a long time, you see yourself clearly. No expectations, no noise, no roles to perform, no pressure to be anything other than who you are. Just you. This is what solitude does. It brings you back to the truth. You are not fragile. You are not lost. You are not behind. You are becoming, growing, strengthening, quietly, softly, steadily, like a tree growing roots deep beneath the soil. Even when no one sees, you are becoming harder to shake. So listen to me carefully. If solitude comforts you, if silence feels like home, if you grow when you step away from the world, there is nothing wrong with you. There has never been anything wrong with you. You are wired differently, built differently, growing differently. You're evolving in ways the world cannot see yet. Solitude is not your hiding place. It is your greenhouse, where your strength grows quietly, where your mind heals softly, where your spirit becomes unbreakable. One day, people will look at you and think, how are they so calm, so wise, so strong? And they will never know that your strength was born in silence, raised in solitude, and shaped in the sacred place where only you could go. Keep walking your path. Keep trusting your quiet power. Keep growing in your own way, because people like you, people who become stronger in solitude, are the ones who carry the deepest wisdom, the quietest courage, and the most unshakable hearts.